evening, ladies and gentlemen.
On behalf of the Harvard Gold players, my pleasure to welcome you to this evening's performance of A Tale of Two Harvards, or Who the Cookie Told Us. A couple of things before we get underway. First of all, there are those people to thank. And of course, we can notice in your program that there are mentions of those who have helped us out. And there are also a few names missing because programs go to print before things are finalized. One of the people, of course, we have to thank is right in front of me. It's Patty Gale. Patty would have been out here on the stage this evening, except that earlier on in the year she had a few medical difficulties that prevented her from being here. But being the trooper she is, she said, "How can I help? I'll do some makeup for you, whatever I can." We appreciate that very much. Thank you. Now, right in front of me are two ladies that started this whole thing a few years back, and Fran Coates. She knew not what she did. Mary came along and said, "I think I'd like to put on a play, if only I could get some people to be in it." And she twisted arms and dragged people from here and there, and we put on a play, and it seemed to go over rather well. From that moment on, we have moved to this, which I hope you will enjoy this evening. Now, at the end of the performance, there will be snacks over here on the table, along with some punch. If you are invited to stay and snack and have a chat with the performers, you can boo them or cheer them as you see fit. And you can chat with the fellow attendees. I do always have to remind, because very malicious intent, but those little things called cell phones, we all become dependent upon. Please take a moment and turn them off, or on vibrate, or airplane mode, or put them in your rear pocket, sit on it, whatever. You just don't want it going off during the performance. Thank you for that. Now, a couple notes about the play. Can I ask, first of all, just show of hands, how many of you were at the Christmas performance? Ah, yes. There may be a reference or two within this play to the Christmas performance. If you weren't here at Christmas, don't worry about it. Somebody beside you to fill you in. Secondly, how many of you remember your high school chemistry? Ah, there we go. There we go. So your high school chemistry formula may come in handy. And if you don't remember that, perhaps somebody that's near you will fill you in. Lastly, I have to tell you, this play is set in February 2022. February. After the Christmas play, the cast said, "You know, that was fun. Maybe we should do something else." Two reasons. One, for enjoyment. And secondly, Civic kindly purchased for us these little microphones. And we sort of tried to put on a charge of repentance to pay back Civic for their kindness to give us the microphones. So I said, "Okay, let's do it." "Well, if you can, find us something to do." So I started looking online, and it's tough when you're looking for a play that's going to fit Harvard Gold. We spared no expense on the lavish set behind me. And then you have to find a play that would fit our time frame. This is running about an hour. Long enough for our audience to stay and whatever they run to the bathroom too often. And then for the number of cast. I think sometimes it's easy to find a cast. It's not. People, yeah, that sounds interesting, until they hear the commitment from rehearsing. These people that you see on the stage this evening have been at this since January. And I suppose really in a way I shouldn't have told you that, because you're going to expect that they might be pretty good.
They are.
No pressure. No pressure. So anyway, I took got pen and paper type of thing, and thought, well, okay, let's see if I can come up with something that we could put on. So I got an outline done and the cast contributed, and we wound up with a script that you're going to see tonight. Nonetheless, I wrote it, as I said, set in February 2022. Reason for that, I want you to think back and remember that in February there were, let's call it, obstructions that prevented us from going next door to the other harbor. You understand what I'm saying, folks? Yes. Okay. Keep that in mind. Okay? Keep that in mind. Now, lastly, just remember that, first of all proceeds from this evening's play go to the Ken and Piney Old Milk Fund. Actually, I can't get away with that because Harry and Karen are here, so has to go to Civic. And secondly, a trip to the theater is a expansion of reality. So, even though you're going to see me go over behind that little white screen, I'm really not there.
Another beautiful day in Northport. The sun is shining, the sky is blue, right?
Rain today.
But for me, it's another day of trying to scrape out a living. My niece and I can barely put food on the table. That is, if we even had a table. We traded it last week for a bag of beans. And we made beans into soup. And we sold the soup to pay off the mortgage on this place. At least we have a roof over our head here in the gatehouse at the entrance to Harvard. As for a table, well, we have this TV tray, thanks to the Harbor Cove Boat Club. Nobody wanted it. Can you blame them? So, the Harbor Cove Boat Club gave it to us. That's what we love about the folks here in Harbor Cove. They're all so generous.
Good morning, Aunt Penny.
Look!
I hope you slept well.
No, not really. I tossed and turned all and get comfy.
Was your mind filled with financial worries, Auntie dear?
No, my insides were filled with gas from the beans. I kept waking myself up and then knocking myself out again. I never should have finished off the rest of the beans in that one.
Well, at least we had some bean soup left after we sold the rest of the soup to make our mortgage payment for last month. I don't know what we're going to do to make this month's mortgage payment. A couple of weeks too long.
We did. If only, if only. Now, folks, whenever you hear any of us say if only twice, you're going to respond with if only what? So let's try it. If only, if only.
If only what?
If only my dear lost brother Sam Witch had not disappeared without a trace. I know he would have helped us with our mortgage.
Dear Uncle Sam, I have such fond memories of him from my childhood. He used to ask me to pull his fingers. And then he'd get this strange look on his face and say, ah. I never see come of him.
Well, a couple weeks ago, he told me that he was going to do a fencing job that paid pretty good money, and he'd be gone a day or two, no more than that. But alas, I haven't seen him since.
Do you know where he was going?
Well, I believe that he said he was going to Harbor Isle.
Oh, no. The residents of Harbor Cove are forbidden to go to Harbor Isle.
I fear foul play. I don't think there's any foul play because I don't think they allow poultry over there. Oh, nobody's playing with chickens. I fear seeing him again is fading.
Oh, perhaps, Auntie dear, you should lie down and have a nap.
A nap? It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Why would I need a nap?
Well, you're in poor health because of your weak constitution, made worse by our financial worries, compounded by your fears for Uncle Sam.
What are you talking about? What happened to age is just a number, right, folks?
Okay.
You're only as old as you feel, right? These are the golden years. I'm telling you, I'm as fit as a fiddle and as healthy as a horse, and I say nay to a nap.
But, dear Aunt, this is a melodrama. And everyone knows that in a melodrama, someone has to suffer from poor health. It can't be me, because I'm too young and perky. So it must be you.
Are you sure?
Well, I'm pretty sure, but I see we have some experts here, so I'm going to ask them. What do you think? That someone has to suffer from poor health in a melodrama?
No, you guys don't believe that, do you? Come on. Come on. Okay, I see. So that must mean that I have a bad hip. Mr. Dillon, wait for me. And probably stiff knee. And then there's this elbow. You know, we were supposed to try this, that it turned around. It doesn't turn around for me. No. So, with all of this, I think I've suddenly developed a head. But before I lie down, I'm going across the way to visit the doggy park.
But doggy park? But why did you go to the doggy park? We don't even own the dog.
I know. We barely have enough room in the gatehouse to sleep standing up. But, we have no indoor plumbing.
Why don't you go to the North Rec Center?
Because I can't go that fast, and when you gotta go, you gotta go. So, let me find the public flyers and the Walmart bag.
I'm a June bug and all alone. That's good for me. Soon she will be Mrs. Craven Sinclair. I'm a June bug and that nuisance. They own and live in that little building of the cove, and they refer to it affectionately as the gatehouse. Well, this gatehouse is very important to me in my ingenious plan coming up. You see, I'm going to take this gatehouse and turn it into a toll house. And I'm going to charge people when they come in $1. And this is the best part. I crack myself up. I'm going to charge them $2 to exit. Oh, it's so wonderful, I'm telling you. And I'll tell you, for my northern neighbors up there across the border, No loonies, no foodies, please. Anyway, so you see, I just need to get Ima Junebug to accept my marriage proposal. Life is so good when you're a genius. What could possibly go wrong? Ooh, Ima June. Good morning to you, my lord. Oh, you. Oh, wow. Oh, it is a beautiful day here in Harbor Cove, and made even more beautiful by your presence in it. I dare say, even the sun is jealous of your radiance. Peasant girls, they suck this stuff right up.
Mr. St. Clair, that was very bold of you. I barely know you.
Please call me Craven, and I gotta say, your incredible beauty just took over it, and I just couldn't help myself. No mortal man could.
Raven?
Craven.
Really? I may be young, but I recognize false flattery when I hear it. And I suspect that you want something.
Yeah, the little pigeon may be just a little smarter than I originally thought. Well, that is very true, my lovely, but bear in mind that all of my intentions are honorable. You see, I am here asking for your hand in marriage.
But for Davon,
That'd be Craven, yes.
I can't give you my hand. I need both my hands. How can I mix with just one hand?
Well, that is a rather interesting response, wouldn't you say? I mean, perhaps she's trying to match wits with me. I don't know whether that's possible or not. I want you to understand where I come from. I want you to be my wife.
Mr. Sinclair?
Yes?
Ima June. You know it is not proper to be alone with a gentleman. Whatever would the neighbors in La Casa think?
But Naaman,
Craven.
he had asked for my hand in marriage.
Has she already done the hand joke? That's too bad. You could have done, left hand, right hand, poker hand, bridge hand, lend a hand. But before this scene is over, I'm going to hand him his bag. I am sorry, but you are too late, Mr. Belair.
Sinclair.
Okay. Ima June is already betrothed to another.
Curses! It seems to be a little speed bump in my plans, but no event. I haven't had a challenge such as this for quite some time, so game on. Well, being my lovely that I appear to be runner-up at the moment, who is the lucky man?
My heart belongs to a young man who is handsome and strong and kind small animals. My betrothed's name is Justin Thomas.
Just in time.
Get that?
Just in time. Just in time. And for those of you out there who aren't dyslexic, let me spell it out for you. Just in time. Yeah. So, when is the wedding day?
We haven't yet chosen a date. We're waiting to be on firmer financial footing.
Oh, that's always a good move in this day and age, but I want to remind you, should things not work out with this Justin oregano garlic parsley sagebrush,
Hi.
just Big time, sure, okay, whatever. Should it not work out with you, I want you to know that I am here asking you to be my wife. Which one needs to say something?
Not me.
Not me.
You're leaving.
I'm leaving? Oh. Well, I gotta go to the office now, I'm late, so, my leave.
Oh, Mr. Belair.
Yes?
Would you be so kind as to dispose of this bag for me?
Oh, but of course, anything for two charming ladies such as yourselves.
Thank you.
Holy excrement! What is this? Oh, you don't want to be downwind of this bag.
My heart's a lump. I can hardly wait for the day we are married.
If only. If only. If only that day were tomorrow. But alas, embarrassed as though I am, my finances are such that I can't afford a place for us to live. Let's face it, the gatehouse is barely big enough for the two of you. And my current abode, the horseshoe locker over at the North Rec Center, is barely large enough for me to squeeze into at night. Sometimes when I sort of back in, well, the horseshoes pick up my thumb. It is painful. Yes, it is. But for some reason when that happens, I feel lucky. Very lucky. Nonetheless, of late, things have picked up. A small family of squirrels have moved in with me. One of the little buggers nipped my nose as I slept, and the red beak. However, I've cleaned it now, and I at least have company.
That is why my heart belongs to you. You have such a positive attitude.
I try.
Why, if this isn't Sheriff Dan, what do we owe this pleasure?
The pleasure is all mine. You, Miss Penny. Ooh. Now, where was I? Yes, this Craven Sinclair fellow. I just saw him scurrying away from Harbor Cove.
Oh my
And I'm here to tell you all not to have anything to do with him. He's not to be trusted. In fact, he's a villain.
Is he the most wicked? Is he the most dastardly?
Could he be the most evil?
Is he the most despicable villain of all time?
No. That was Roland Endo. He was arrested in Mistletoe at Christmas time on charges of stealing.
Really?
Yes.
Sheriff Dan, by the way, what exactly did he steal?
He stole 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves. What? And a partridge in a pear tree. Oh. Anyway, no, Craven Sinclair. He is a smarmy, oily, greasy type of a villain. He is said to be a near genius. And he's filthy rich. Wow. He's rich from owning a company called Acme Enterprise.
I think I've heard of that.
You may have. He made his fortune on one big customer, one Wile E. Coyote in Arizona. Anyway, made all this money. He's filthy rich, doesn't need the money anymore, but spends his time hatching evil plots. So beware, everybody. Beware. Ooh.
If only
what?
If only we were better off, then I'm a Jew and just in time could marry and maybe find a place big enough for them with maybe a spare room for me.
Of course, Auntie dearest.
I have the solution to your problem. If only what? If only you would marry me, Penny. I've asked you often enough.
But why won't you marry him, Aunt Penny?
Well, when Dan first asked me, I thought he was being a flirt. Get it? Dandruff. Yeah. But now I realize he is sincere and flake-free. So soft and smooth, just like a baby bottom.
Don't touch that dial, and now we're sponsored.
Dan, DVD Druff here, with an important message from HCL, Hair and Scalp Treatment. Are you embarrassed by those flakes falling onto your neck and collar? Are you experiencing social rejection? Are people calling you names like Snowflake? Are they inviting you to parties as a skeezer? I, too, was a shaky flaky. Until I discovered the magic of HCL Hair and Scalp Treatment. With only one application of HCL Hair and Scalp Treatment once per day for only 1 week, my blizzard days were gone, and so was my hair. It worked for me. It can work for you. HCL. A product so good, it's head and shoulders above the competition.
Side effects can include, but are not limited to, burning, itching, small holes in the head, acuity, mean, ear, flat, feet, fall, nerves, indigestion, heart palpitations, runny nose, depression, stress, regression, athlete's foot, bad breath, heavy hunger, constipation, diarrhea, dwarfism, and spontaneous combustion. Dan Druff is not a professional medical person. He is a paid spokesman. Consult your doctor before using. And now, back to our drama.
Soft and smooth like a baby's bottom.
That reason's gone, Auntie. What's the second reason?
Well, I know that Dan doesn't have a ring, and what have I told you about that, Dan?
No ring, no marriage.
That's right.
And what about the third reason?
without my dear brother sandwich to give me away. Or I find out that he's among the dead.
No, can't be.
If only.
If only what?
If only there were some way to discover his whereabouts, or, heaven forbid, his fate. I know if he were alive, he would help us.
There is a way.
Really?
It's the only way.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a dangerous way, full of perils and roadblocks with no guarantees of success. Someone must go in search of Sandwich. Someone must go to Harbor Island.
Yeah, no, too dangerous.
The only way.
You know, I would go. I would really go.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Except you folks out there all figure that I'm not healthy enough as of 30 minutes ago.
This is true.
You know?
This is true.
Come on.
And I would go, but I have to stay and look after it.
Oh, I'm
And
selfish.
I would go, but my face is too well known around here. And besides, this badge is only good in Harbor Cove.
Well, I guess we're on the block. 3 strikes and you're out. Poor old Aunt Penny, well, she can't go because you made her an invalid. And my fiancée, Ivan Junebug, well, she can't go because she has to stay and look after Aunt Penny. And as Sheriff Van Druff has explained, his badge and his face prevent him from going. I guess we're out of luck. That's 1, 2, 3 can't go.
What about you?
There are 4 of us. I really don't like the way this is going. All right, I'll go. I'll brave the perils of Harbor Isles if it means keeping a roof over the head of my dearly beloved and her darling aunt. I shall do my very best to go and find Uncle Sandwich. I will prepare myself to leave this very evening.
This evening.
Yes, this evening.
You may want to reconsider that, Justin.
Really?
You should go in the daytime, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
During the daytime,
Uh-huh.
the folks in Harbor Isles,
Mhm.
they don't come out. They stay inside. So, if they do come out,
Oh, eventually somebody, I got this, Sheriff Dan.
What?
Hey, somebody came up.
What?
Hey, how you doing?
What?
Nice
What?
to
What?
see ya.
so,
Hey,
what are you doing there?
well, that's the Harbor Cove Howdy.
No,
We waved to anybody. I remember you know, we're not. We're just friends of anyway, hey,
no Harbor Cove waiting.
A
A little, yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Justin, what are you doing now?
That's
What's this?
the Harbor Cove greeting salute.
The greeting
Oh
salute?
yeah, see you're driving your golf cart, okay? And you see somebody coming in their golf cart, and you just,
No.
oh yeah,
No, just a no greeting salute. Okay?
oh, I got it, I know.
What now? What are you doing now, Justin?
Listen, there's a certain group of people, mostly males, in Harbor Cove, you know, they're cool. They're really cool guys. When they're driving their car and they meet you, they just give you the finger wave. Oh. I don't want to take your face.
I'm not so sure about that either. No finger wave.
I know.
No, Justin, no smiling.
Oh, there's only one thing left to do. I see you, I got you. Looking at you, kid.
What's this now?
I'm seeing, I'm looking at
Okay,
Okay,
no smiling,
I'm fine.
no waving,
No way.
no direct eye contact. That's the last thing you should do. Okay? If you do those things, they'll know immediately You're not one of them. You're from Harvard Cove.
Okay, Sheriff Dan, good advice. I understand. I get what you're telling me. I'll take that to heart. You do have one little problem.
No, I hate problems. I don't want problems.
Well,
Problem? No, what kind of problem?
well,
A problem?
I should have maybe mentioned this before, but
What?
see, I've never met Uncle Sam Wicks,
What?
so I don't know what he looks like. I have no idea what he looks like.
That's a big problem.
Oh, well,
That's a huge problem. That's a real. We're doomed. We're doomed. We're doomed. We're doomed. Oh, my head fell off.
Stan,
Yes.
Stan,
Yes.
remember, aren't you a trained police sketch artist?
Well, yes, I am. I was very sketchy in the police academy.
Daddy and I discovered Uncle Sam to you. You can draw a picture, and then we can give the picture to Justin.
Yes. Yes. Let's do this.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Thank you, good sir. Just in time. All right.
Okay.
Now, all there, dear. Was he a tall man or was he a short man? Good question.
Well, he was about from here to here, somewhere in there.
perfect.
Well, that narrows it down quite a bit.
Uh-huh.
Was he a thin man or a stout man?
He was somewhere between this side and this side.
That's clear. Ooh, okay then.
That's clear.
All right. And did he wear glasses?
Only to see her.
Only to see. Perfect. We're getting somewhere now.
Uh-huh.
Did he have big ears?
Only to hear it.
Only to hear with.
Okay, makes sense.
Now, was there any extraordinary features about him that anybody would... What? Yes.
He had a really long finger.
A really long finger.
Hey, Tim!
Hmm.
You got it.
We got it. I
Very
think.
nice.
Come on.
Wow.
There we go.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have any trouble finding you. This has to be a perfect likeness of Uncle Sam Wicks. Boy, I'd have to be pretty dim not to be able to recognize that guy. I'll take this and get ready and leave immediately for Harbor Isles. Oh, I hope I can find it. I really do.
Oh, and I'll make a sandwich for you.
And I'll
Excellent.
get you some drinks.
Good. Up you go. Do my duty. However,
Sheriff. Oh, yeah, right, whatever. Okay. Why the long? I suspect either rejection or perhaps the bad burrito.
oh, the burrito was last week. It's rejection. Penny West will not marry me because I don't have a ring. And besides, how did you know that?
How did I know? How did I know? Well, I know.
Because I'm a genius.
And being a genius, I also know the answer to one of your dilemmas. And I just need one bit of information from you.
Now, what kind of information do you need?
Well, my dear,
That's wrong.
what I need is I need to know your budget.
Budget.
Yeah. See, it'd be pointless for me to show you a ring that would be appropriate for somebody that maybe lives in Welland Park, when in fact you only have, the property of a tent site in Alaska somewhere. So how much do you have?
I have $4.27.
Well, admittedly, it is not a fortune, but I can work with that. And I'm thinking that maybe the double header line would be something that would be right up your alley.
Double header.
Let me get to that in a moment here. So, yeah. Well, we'll just start with the introductory model. That is a mere $2. And that is maybe appropriate for, say, a shotgun.
No, shotgun.
Not exactly. No.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to go to the mid-range model, which might be appropriate if you were seeing a justice of the peace in your backyard, but not what you had in mind, is it?
No, definitely not.
Well,
I thought you were some kind of genius.
yeah, well, this is what you've been waiting for.
Oh,
The top of the line.
okay.
It's only five. It is the Ultra. Yeah.
And I would say that those rings look exactly the same.
Well, of course they do, because you're a man. And to a man, they all look alike.
Oh.
But to the women, they know the difference from across the room. Even that good-looking lady back there, she can tell the difference, yes.
Oh, really?
So, let me tell you,
Okay.
because I like you a lot,
You do?
I do,
Okay.
and in the next 20 seconds, if you decide, I am going to throw in this gold line custom box along with the Ultra ring, and you have the next 10 seconds to seal this deal for only $427, well within your budget.
So,
Yes, all right.
Yeah.
Genius. Yes,
by the
I
way,
am.
what is a double header line?
Well, the double header line is because when you pop the top, then you pop the question. So easy. Well, by looking around out here, I can tell that you people have all been around the block once or twice. Well, yeah, some of you 3 times. I know that's true. But anyway, so you're all familiar with these little witticisms and so forth, one of which is, patience is a virtue. Well, I have no virtues, so consequently, I have no patience. And should I have been into the medical field as a doctor, it wouldn't have been good for me, patience, none, doctor, well, never mind. Okay, well, let's see. Ordinarily, a guy like me would go to plan A, which would be to have Ima June just wait out this infatuation that she seems to have with this Justin Oregano Parsley character. So, but I'm not that patient a guy. So I'm going to plan B. And plan B is of a financial nature, you see? And that is right up Craven Sinclair's alley. These ladies, they have such a hard time making the mortgage payment every month. They come to see the bank manager and they say, anyway, it's Mr. Avery Niceman, the manager. He says, oh, you need another week? Go ahead, take a week. You need 2, take 2. That's okay. So anyway, this is no way to run a bank. I mean, what kind of books does the guy have? So I went to see Mr. Avery Niceman, and I offered to buy out their mortgage. And he suspected subterfuge on my part. Can you believe it? Subterfuge on Craven Sinclair. So anyway, he says, no. And I think that he doesn't want his bank records to be good. But anyway, I leave his office, I go back to my office, I pick up the phone, I call corporate, I buy his bank. Yeah. And you know what I did? I fired him. He's gone, yeah. And the new manager is Seymour Cash. There will be no grace periods with Seymour Cash. It is just so easy sometimes. Life is so good when you're a genius. What could possibly go wrong?
I'm lost over here in Harbor Isles. You'd have to look behind you to see me. But I'm just going in circles looking for a path back to Harbor Cove. I'm told there used to be some. I got my fence jobs done, but I can't find my way back. I did find a shelter over some picnic tables where I could stay for a while. It was that place I think they called it a marina or Palm Harbor. Well, I'm not sure. But I know I lost because I haven't seen a harbor and I haven't seen any islands. I hope somebody out here can help me. I'm looking for a guy by the name of Sam Witch. Here's a likeness of him. It's a very, very good likeness of him. I want you to look at it closely because if you've seen this guy, I really, really could use the help. Now look closely because, and bear in mind that you might have lost some weight, okay? Bear that in mind. And sometimes at this shelter at barbecues, picnics, people would show up, and I'd be afraid they were going to find me out, but they went on with their barbecue and picnic, and everybody just assumed I came with the other guy, and I got fed. They don't talk to each other. Sam! Sam, Sam Wiggle?
Yeah.
By golly, it is. Oh, Sam, thank goodness I found you. Your sister, Penniless, and your niece, Mama June. They're in awful trouble, Sam. They can't pay their mortgage.
What is it? Oh, my
They can't pay their, they need your help.
Well, I've got help.
Wow, you got the money bag.
You can help me get out of here.
Come on, this way.
Well, take it easy because I've been very sick.
Oh, no.
It's all nautical over here.
Oh, I didn't know.
Anchors and spinnakers and sails and boats, and I get seasick just walking on the beach. So please help me get out of here.
Follow me. We have to get back. I hope we're fine because
I hope so, too.
You're ready to get. By the way, thank you.
Where did you get that picture?
Man, drop through it. Is it a real likeness? Wow.
I'm so tired. I haven't slept a wink since Justin left. And on top of that, we've got the worries about this month's mortgage payment. We don't have a penny except for Aunt Penny, and she's penniless in more ways than one.
Don't worry, Ima. I'm sure it will turn out all right. I may be a penniless, but I am rich in so many other ways. I have you, my dear Dan.
Oh, Aunt Sally, what more can we even ask for?
Well, for starters, it would be really nice to have indoor plumbing. The grass in the doggy park just tickles my rear end. And the dogs are always staring at me. It just makes it so difficult to go when you're being watched. It really does.
Oh, my two pigeons are here. The only one missing is that Justin Oregano garlic sagebrush character, whatever. Oh, need I remind you girls, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but your mortgage payment is due in a couple of hours. Not days. Oh, I feel so bad. Soon they will be putty in my hands. Soon they will be begging me for mercy. Soon they will be making extreme promises. They will be throwing themselves at my feet. Oh, reminds me, the last time somebody threw themselves on my shoe, they scuffed it all up. I think I'll go get it buffed out.
Never, Mr. Underwear. What you don't know is that even though we don't have the money right at this very moment, our friendly neighborhood bank manager, Mr. Avery Niceman, always has extended us a grace period until we can pay. Sorry to ruin your hopes of foreclosure.
This is the part I love. You see, I got information they don't have. So now it's a question of, should I be like the cat who has the mouse, and the mouse almost gets away, and the cat goes to get it, brings it back, gets away, and the cat brings it back? That's one way. The other way, treat it like a Band-Aid. When you just rip the heart out. Oh, it just hurts. Think about that. Anyway, you say first period. Well, I hate to, I hate to tell you, but that wouldn't be fair to me. I'm afraid I might not succeed.
An evil villain like you never succeeds over good. Our grace period is our bird in the hand, our ace in the hole, our same old Abby Donut.
Well, I hate to break it to you girls, but Avery Niceman is no longer at your bank.
No way. You're bluffing.
Yes, way, and I am not bluffing. No. You see, when I bought the bank, I fired Mr. Avery Niceman.
Oh, no.
And I hired Mr. Seymour Cash. There will be no grace period with Seymour Cash. So even though you technically have a couple more hours, why don't you take this liberty and pack your things up and just get out? Because the tolls to and from Harbor Cove start tomorrow. It's so simple when you're a genius. What could possibly go wrong?
Sam, you're alive. You're alive. And I knew you would come and help us.
Uncle Sam, should I pull your finger?
By the way, Craven Claire. Yes, Mr. The sheriff, that is me, and you're done.
Well done, Sam.
Well done. Curses! I'm telling you. You may have paid this month's mortgage, I assume the count is right. But what of next month? And what of the month thereafter? Eventually you will lose.
He has a point. No, he does.
Not so fast. Last week, a very nice lady named Nancy Rolton came to have tea and snacks with my Aunt Penny. And my Aunt Penny baked her cookies with her secret ingredients. Mrs. Dawson loved those cookies so much she ate up all the ones on the plate.
What a piggy.
And then she asked Aunt Penny to bake some for her to buy. She said they were so good, we could make a fortune selling them to people in Harbor Cove. We just need a catchy slogan and a really special name for these cookies.
Oh, I know. Oreo.
No. Mistaken.
I know.
What?
Let's call them Toll House cookies.
Oh, fantastic. You know what this means?
What does it mean?
It means you and I can get married.
And because Sam is here to give you a ring, will you marry me now? I have a ring for you.
Oh, you got the ultra ring. I will.
tried Plan A, that didn't work out so well. Plan B wasn't a bit any better. But Plan C, I intend to maybe go over to La Casa, because I understand those people aren't quite as clever as Harvard Hope. Oh, it would be great to hear